All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Splat's Demo Day. My name is Brett Taylor, and I have been developing stuff on Superalgos now for about a year. Maybe a little bit less, probably less than a year. I've been researching the platform for about a year, I think, and I still don't understand it. So, you are here to learn about it with me. I'll try to do my best and help you out, and hopefully I'll learn some stuff along the way as well. Tonight, my plan is to talk about the governance portfolio again, governance profiles and the workspace. And then I'm going to walk through the custom trading system that I have set up that is driving my Twitter bot and making announcements out in public on Twitter. Tonight, I am drinking a beer from Levante Brewing called Zero Context. I did not pick up anything this week at Tired Hands. I got a delivery, decided to keep branching out, trying new stuff. So I got a new delivery from Levante. And this one is a pomegranate pale ale. I had one last night. I think it's pretty good. Not really my favorite beer per se, but it is tasty. It's nice and light and refreshing. Let's see. It has Citra, Mosaic, and Idaho 7 hops. Only 5.9% alcohol. So it's crushable, if you will, and has a little bit of a hint of sweetness to it, but it's not too overly sweet. Cheers. At some points, it kind of reminds me of Mountain Dew Code Red or I.C., which or Kool-Aid. I guess that's the other thing it kind of reminds me of, but it's not super sweet. You may also notice that I am using a slightly different setup here on the broadcast. I'm trying out OBS Studio instead of Twitch Studio, hoping it gives me some better audio, and which means that hopefully you can hear me better. And I think it may give me some better control over what I'm actually sharing out on the video and what you can see, and hopefully when I do interviews with people, it'll give me some better options and make everything clear and all that. But anyway, if you have any suggestions, send them in. Hints and tips, I'm always looking for them. Again, just figuring this all out as I go along. So anyway, let's get to it. So I have my platform loaded up here. This is the default workspaces. The default getting started guide. I'm going to click on workspaces, and I'm going to look for token distribution Superalgos. Click on it and let that load. So I guess officially today was the last day of this month to get all of your claims and votes in, and I think the actual distribution of tokens goes out tomorrow. And I guess this is all, I don't even know. It's all governed off of UTC. And so usually for me, when I get off of work is when I can actually spend time and work on this, and that's usually a little bit too late for all the timelines and deadlines. And so If you're watching this right now live with me, you are also too late, unfortunately. But hopefully this may help you out next month. So as you can see, when you start this up, you will be presented with the tutorial, which if you have not done it, you should definitely, definitely do it. And you'll see the docs page pops up here. This is kind of like a, how it says run a command. This is kind of the built-in command line. Has a whole bunch of different functions to it. But one of the cool things is you can, if you've already created your profile, you can search for your own profile. And then you can click on user profile and it takes you right to it. And once you already have your profile set up, you will see, let's format this a little bit better. You will see that you have these values already in here. And this is kind of the end product of where we hope to go. And hopefully I will show you how to get there real quick. So anyway, that's just a quick overview of where we're going. Very first thing that you want to do, if I can remember this properly, is you want to go to here. I guess I want to start the tutorial again. Why do I not see it? Let's see. Let's get the tutorial going again, and I will zoom back through. The next, be ready. We opened it from the plugin. This is telling you a little bit more about some of the design principles about the token and governance and the workspace and why you have to create a profile to be a part of this and how the token is distributed and what it all means. Look, yeah, I did that. Oh, add profile constructor. That's what I was looking for. So you get this thing. And this is where, if you do not already have a wallet created, it will create a wallet for you. If you do have a wallet created, you can add your 12-word mnemonic in here. But otherwise, you can just put in, I'm just going to put in a dummy GitHub username here because I'm not going to actually contribute this back. So it tells you put in your GitHub username. You can leave mnemonic empty. And I believe when I close that and I hit build profile and confirm, then I have this node here, which is my profile. And when you open this up, you'll see that you have data here that is now essentially your wallet address and some other information about it. And then if you go and look on your file system, and let's see, I do not have this set to show. Oh, of course. But when you look on your file system, I guess I'll have to come up with this. Let's see here. How can I show this real quick? Boom. You will see that in your Superalgos Git directory, you type git status, you'll have a user profile JSON of yourself. And then there should be a, where is it, platform? Supposed to be, maybe it'll tell me where it is, but let me find my secrets. I thought that it saved a secrets file out. Let's keep going with the tutorial and we'll see if we can find it. Did I close the tutorial? I totally did, didn't I? Resume. There we go. So that creates an identification for yourself. And you take a look at what's inside. And it tells you that it creates a local key. Is that in the profile itself? Did I just show everybody what this private key is? I thought it saved it out to a file locally. Yeah, Superalgos generates your file locally. I thought I put it out into a My Secrets folder. Sorry, bear with me while I confirm this. My Secrets, where is that? I have no My Secrets. Back up the key. I don't know. I'm a little perplexed right now. I remember doing this before, where it saved it out into My Secrets. All signing. Why do I not see this? Oh well, I will have to find that another time and confirm. Because I do not see it on my file system. And I don't think anything in the profile there. Let's see, how is that different than, yeah, it's not message hash, BRS signature. BRS signature, yeah, so that's not any of the private key. Why do I not have this locally? Data storage, my log files. I don't know. I am confused. See if I can find this on the file system. Why is that not finding anything? Sorry. I'm totally killing time here. But I really thought that this would create my secrets folder, and I totally do not see it. So I don't know where the private key went. My workspaces. Nope. My data storage. Nope. I am lost. My secrets. Yeah, totally not there. All right, I will have to look that up, and I will post an update in the comments or something, or in the description, and hopefully, my secrets. Is there anything in here? No. Private key. Is there anything in here? Building your profile. These are all... Build your profile. So you click on that, you check your configuration, back up your keys. Oh, it's supposed to be in the profile constructor. And mine did not have that. I hit configure and it's blank. That seems like a bug. So I guess I just found a bug. So yeah. All right. Well, that's interesting. I don't know why I couldn't do that. Maybe because I don't have an actual GitHub profile. That doesn't seem like that would matter. Anyway, let's keep moving. So, after we make our profile, what we would do is I showed you that it saves a JSON file out into the file system. Once you are done saving, you'll want to find yourself over in the plugin user profiles, and you'll see this is my profile folder here, and you'll see that how it's bringing blue. I want to enable saving with the workspace. So when this is red and it says disable, that means that right now it is enabled. So if I save my workspace, I get the ring around here. It says plugin saved. And that's how I know that I am also saving my profile out to the file system. And then I can app.contribute from inside the docs here, or I can run git commands on my command line locally and add the file. When you contribute your profile, you want it to be only that single file in the PR, in the commit that you are submitting up, because otherwise the bot that runs will close the PR. If it is the only file, it checks to make sure that your name, your git name, matches your user profile and also matches all of the things in the file. So then it can just merge it automatically. So there are checks to make sure that you are the only one that is submitting your user profile. So from there, the very first thing you want to set up is you will want to add on your token power switch the onboarding programs, the community building programs, and the votes and claims. You'll see financial programs and liquidity were already added. Liquidity is a way for you to go to PancakeSwap. I believe that's the only place that we have it configured at the moment, and add liquidity to basically allow people to add and remove, to buy and sell SA tokens as they would any other cryptocurrency. Believe the main ones that we have set up right now are WBNB, which is wrapped BNB. And the reason why it's wrapped is because it's a special form of the token of the BNB Binance coin that is BEP20, BEP20 for the Binance Smart Chain, BSC. There is another version of it, an older version of it, that you'll see that has a BEP2 profile or address associated with it. That is the wrong smart chain or the wrong address to be able to use Superalgos, to be able to use PancakeSwap and several other things. So you want to make sure you're using the BEP20. That's called WBNB or BSC BNB. And I won't go into more about liquidity programs here because it's really its own topic in and of itself. But it essentially creates a pool of cash for people to trade Superalgos. I think there's a BTC one, there's an ETH one, and a BUSD one. I think those are the only ones. But you will get power. You will get voting power if you provide liquidity. And that's kind of like if you go and look at these other liquidity pools, you'll see that people get APR, APY rewards back for basically providing extra cash for people to be able to trade with. Same idea. The financial programs, right now you get a staking program. This isn't very, I don't know, it's not very useful, but it is a way to start building up your Superalgos tokens basically for free. Once you start contributing, you may need to add this delegation program. And you may not need to worry about how to delegate power to other people, but, other people may need to delegate power to you because you may not have enough tokens to be able to claim all the work that you've done for the program, for the project. At the very early stages of you beginning working on the program. So other people can say like, okay, if you want to claim 50,000 tokens, you may only have 1,000 in your account. So I will essentially gift you 49,000 power so that you can claim that extra power yourself, make those extra claims, and get those tokens for yourself at this delegation, or at this distribution. Those are not necessarily the main parts, but something to consider. These onboarding programs are another way to get basically free tokens. And I think these may either be put on pause or go away for a little bit. The airdrop program, you basically have to do nothing other than create your profile. The Github program is supposed to incentivize you to like and star the project on, or watch and star the project on github.com and fork it so that you can make your profile. And then you'll get some you're supposed to get like 1,000 tokens or something, 100 tokens. I think it's I think it's 1,000 for each of these. And basically free tokens for creating your profile, essentially. The community building programs are very useful. This influencer one at the bottom here, I believe, is not functional, doesn't do anything, and I don't think it's going to be built out the way that it was intended to, but it's still here. But if you run into errors with it and you see nothing happening with it, don't worry about it, just remove it. Referral program. This is basically for you to claim other people as referrals, people who told you about the project and got you interested in it. So you can kind of thank them for it. And then when you turn around and you tell other people about it, they can mark you as a referrer, and you get a little bit of a bonus for referring people. Same thing with the support program, where you can give a little bit of a bonus to the people who help you, either in the Telegram channels or Discord, or they're on YouTube or Twitch. You can link them. You click this Add User Supporter button, and I'll go ahead and do this. So let's say I wanted to link this to myself. This is an example. The button that I clicked is this Add User Supporter checkmark. I get this icon here. A very nifty, easy way to move around and get this node to where you want it to is you click on the pin, and then you click on this red GPS button, basically, marker. And you'll see it says node saved, ready to be moved. And then we go down to somebody else's user profile, and we click on this yellow snap the save node to this position. And you'll see now I have my node here. So I can right click on my user supporter node, bring it over a profile picture, and you get that yellow ring around the name. And now you see I linked it to my profile. So I am now marked as a supporter, somebody who has offered support to this new made up user. And then you can unpin it, and it'll go back where it was. And you'll see that all of these are saying, in order to enable this, you have to have at least one outgoing supporter. So if I want to use the refer, I need to link this refer in the same way. I come back down to myself just to illustrate what's happening here. And now I mark myself as the refer. And you can see my name shows up again. And you can see this very faint gray line linking the two. You'll probably see it better on your own video or your own screen. Unpin. And we'll do the same thing over here for the mentorship program. Add a mentor. Same idea. Somebody who helps you out a lot, gives you a lot of information. So you can mark somebody as a mentor and they can mark you as a mentor, and you give some token power or a bonus to that person, to the person that you mark as a mentor. Somebody that marks you as a mentor, you get a bonus from them. And it's also a percentage. I believe it's like 10% of what you actually assign to them. But let's say I referred Sally, and Sally referred Jamie. Jamie marks Sally as their referrer. Sally marked me as their referrer, as Sally's referrer. I get, because Sally is getting a boost of 10%, I'm going to get a boost off of that 10% as well. So it's all kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Relative. It's all additive. It's not really additive. But anyway, it's all ratioed. I don't even know. Blanking. Somebody tell me what word I'm missing. Anyway. So then I move my mentor down here, do the same thing. Now I've got a mentor. And all of that is configured. These token mined, I'll get into that later. So the meat and potatoes of the voting and the making claims of the token distribution is this bad boy here. You want to add your claims program. You want to add your voting program. Did I miss something? No. I don't think so. So the, let's see, you can see we have the claims program, you get tokens awarded, and votes program, you get token bonus. We want to add a position claims folder. These other ones, the assets and the feature claims, are phased out essentially, and they don't exist anymore. So add a position claims folder. We are going to, I want to pin that, copy it, come down here to the team contributors, and you can see we have a brand new node here for this month, teams at November 2021. I'm going to click the snap to here, move this out of the way a little bit. I'm going to link it to this top tier teams node. And I'm going to call this teams at Nov 2021. Unpin, going to shrink this again, unpin. Come back up here. You can click install missing claims and boom, you've got everything underneath it now, all in one go. And I kind of walked through this before. I think I did this last week in last week's video. What you'll want to do once you start actually contributing to the project is you'll see that these all say data mining team proof of work. The POW means proof of work. When you go to medium.com/superalgos governance, this is where all of the proof of work reports or statements are posted for the month. So as a user, to figure out whose work you want to back, who you want to vote for, you would come and read these and you would say, like, okay, Gustavo, he's laying out everything that he's doing, and you can then say, oh, okay, I really like his contribution, and so I'm going to vote for his claims. And same with any of these. So Louis is talking about the desktop team. And you can see that they are working on a desktop application. And I believe this is all supposed to be a part of the social network where you can essentially follow people, get their trading signals, and then more or less copy their trades. So you don't necessarily have to go through all the hard work of setting up the system, making a a trading system, a trading algorithm, and running it yourself. You can just follow somebody else. This was my report. I don't get a whole lot of time to work on this every month, so I very quickly threw this together. And you can see I'm involved in several things, and I also sent some PRs. But, you know, just to give you a gist, some of the larger teams are algorithmic trading is coming along very well. The education team is run very well. They're doing a lot of great work for documentation, educating people, creating the tutorials. All of the people doing translations are in here, and these guys and girls, ladies, deserve a lot of votes because they're doing great stuff. So next, and the data mining team are doing kind of great stuff. They post a lot of blog posts explaining the new indicators that they're putting into the system, how to run those indicators, how to trade with them, data analysis, very cool stuff. So how to figure out who to vote for. One, you either are working on a team, and so you all are communicating with each other saying like, I'm going to place a claim. I think that we should each put in for 5,000 tokens or whatever. You'll work it out amongst yourselves. You'll say, okay, I have this much power to offer, but I want to claim, you know, I have 5,000 tokens right now, but I want to claim 60,000 tokens because I did a lot of work this month. And then everybody will calculate amongst themselves how to get you to that number. Otherwise, if you just want to vote for people and say like, you know, more than just like this person offered me support in the channel, you can say like, oh, I really like what the data mining team is doing, so I'm going to offer support. That's more in the voting section. But anyway, I kind of got off topic there. So back to placing your claims. If you are working on the data mining team, you would leave this node here, and then you would want to link, leave this position because this is the meat and potatoes here, they keep saying, of what other people will link to vote. So you are making this user right now. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. This user is making a data mining team claim that they are part of the data mining team, essentially. And that's all, that's really how simple this is. And then once you have tokens, you'll see that these will start to light up. And so let me go back down to my actual profile and show you that I essentially had my own team. So I had my own report here in my own proof of work. And I was making a claim that I was a part of this team. And I also helped out a little bit with the exchange relationships. I made a couple of code modifications so that the OKX exchange worked properly and gave Superalgos users a little bit of a discount for trading on OKX with the Superalgos platform. But it was a very small contribution. It was a very small code change. So I'm only claiming about 3,500 tokens. The other work that I did was not really a part of any team. I was just kind of doing it on my own. And right now I just kind of devoted all of whatever tokens I had left over here. And so even though I have about almost 1 million tokens coming into this claim, it doesn't mean that I'm going to get 1 million tokens out of it, because I need people to vote for that. And then however many people vote, however many tokens people kind of offer back is how much I can claim. But let's say on the reverse, people wanted to, I had 1 million tokens of incoming votes, but I only had 50,000 to claim. So I had 50,000 in my own wallet right now. I would then need somebody to delegate me tokens. That's where this delegation would come in. So, to summarize, because I think I got very off track there, when you are making your claims, you will essentially talk with your team, come up with numbers amongst yourselves, and this is why the project has essentially been starting to break up into teams, because it's a lot easier for, 5 people to come to a consensus than trying to talk to, the 100 or thousands of people that are in the chat channels and being like, hey, everybody, I just randomly decided that I want 50,000 tokens. Can you all just, vote for it, please? So the teams are meant to help make this a lot easier and to make sure that everybody's getting what they are actually deserving. So once you've made your claims, you then have to create votes. So that's where this vote switch comes in, and I'll show it up here, how to add that. Got my voting program. I want to make a vote switch. And then you'll see that I made a weighted vote switch down below. And I want to add a claims vote switch. So this weighted vote switch, let me double check on my profile. Yeah, this is essentially where you kind of make generic pooling votes. Yeah, so that's how I did it. I'll duplicate this up here. So zooming back out, we have these two nodes down here. We have the pools and we have the positions. So these weighted votes, I'm going to add in, add pool, weighted vote, add position, weighted vote. I guess I might have done these maybe before these things existed. But maybe it works out to be about the same. So this position weighted vote, I linked it down here to the positions. So kind of like I did before with the claims, I want to copy it down to here. I want to link it. And now I can unpin that. And then I can do the same thing with the pool votes. And these are kind of just like generic. If you don't know what to do, you're not going to do anything specific. You just kind of want to say like, you know, whatever, I'm just going to throw money into the pool and let other people kind of figure it out. At least this is my understanding of how this works. Somebody else may be able to describe this much better. And maybe there's a doc page on it. Not really. Okay. So anyway, copy my node, go down here to the pools, and let's step down to here, move that out of the way. Okay, so I want to, let me not link that real quick. Oh, I guess it wants it to be two separate. All right, well, anyway, so I'll make a teams pool. And then I'll come up here and I'll make another one. And I'll do the same thing. Bring it down. Make that for the governance. And then you can divvy up your weighted power however you want. I don't think I've gone over this yet, but on most of these nodes, these switches, you can go in here to configure. You'll hit enter, type in percentage, and if you spell it properly, I could say like I want 5% to go to the governance, and you can see this updated now. This says 5. Hopefully you can see that kind of well. 5% goes to the governance pool, and then 47.5 goes to the team's work, and the other 47.5 goes to the team's contributors. And so you don't necessarily need to add everything up below that. But you can also, if you saw all of these other nodes were lighting up, so you could add each and every one of these on separately. And that also means that you can remove ones that you don't necessarily want to just kind of generically vote for. Other than that, let's say I was working on the exchange relations team. We all came up to our understanding of who was voting for who and how much. This is where you make those claims to vote for the other people on the team. Or if you specifically want to vote for other people's work by reading these proof of work statements and saying that, you know, let's look at the education team. Maybe you really benefited from Martin B78 and his work on the German translation, and you really wanted to give him some extra bonus for his hard work. You can add, I mean, we can pool these, sorry, not pool these, but we can add these as folders if you want. But what you want to do is click this add position claim vote to add in specific people. So let's say I wanted this to go towards education team people that I specifically like their work. And then this was going to be my exchange relations for the work that my peers on the team specifically did. So again, all you want to do is you want to link these to the people, to their claims. So we're going to go find, I'll just go find myself again. I copied, I pinned, go find myself. And I want to come down to this claim node. Copy it down here. Move this out of the way. And now I can link it. I right-clicked on the position claim vote. I get this orange bar. I link it, and now I have, this is my exchange relationships team. And obviously that was just for illustration, but that's how that works. So now I've placed my votes, and I've placed my pool votes, and I've placed my specific work claims. I'm not on the Turkish community. I'm going to remove that. I'm not a part of the non-tech users. I'm going to delete that. It didn't work on the desktop teams. I delete that. I'm not Smitty. Delete that. I'm not Luis. Delete that. Didn't work on the marketing team. And so this is how you can kind of pare it down to be like, okay, well, yeah, I did work on all these teams. And so I'm going to make claims for all of these. And then obviously, just like everything else, you can set your percentage 5 or whatever. And then up here, I can do the same. Let's say my education team, I want them to get, again, I want them to get 5% of my power. And then I want this specific person and their claim to get 25%. And so you can see everything updates accordingly. So that's how that works. And then I can save. And then let's switch back over here to my putty window. And I get status. You can see that I have my profile file and only my profile file there. So I can get commit. And I'm not going to actually do this. But you would get commit, get add your file, get commit your file, and then get push up to your GitHub repo. That's how that works. That's pretty much it. I hope I answered all the questions. And again, I ran into a bug, and maybe I just need to restart where under the new profile constructor, under the configure, I should have my secret keys here, and I do not. So I wonder what's going on with that. Easier thing to do is to just set up your wallet ahead of time. Set up, download Trust Wallet, I believe we have a blog post on this under the token. Let's look for this. How to configure the Superalgos token in Trust Wallet. Follow this handy dandy tutorial and you can create a Trust Wallet address. This will give you the mnemonic, and then every month when you get a distribution, you'll see it show up in this wallet. And you'll also see the value of that showing up because we have these liquidity pools. If you want to read more about the liquidity pools, come here to the blog, and you can see that we have articles about that and how to buy and sell Superalgos on PancakeSwap. So lots of useful information. I think that's it for governance. That used up the majority of my time. Excuse me. But the other thing that I wanted to walk through. Oh, I guess the one thing I didn't discuss is in this command line here, you can type app.contribute and it will, you have to have your keys and everything configured properly. I have not done this before. It doesn't let you do it here. But in other places, you can set up your GitHub API, your username, and your token, not password, token from GitHub. And use app.contribute right here in the docs, and it will create your PR for you. It'll push your profile up. I think there's a couple other handy commands that you can type in here. Like I think there's a specific governance command. I can't remember what it is. But if you ask in the support channels on Telegram or Discord, somebody will point you in the right direction. I like to do all the command line stuff myself using regular Git commands. So that's how I do it. So yeah, I guess the other thing I was going to do is walk through my trading system, which I have. Let's go to twitter.com/PT cryptostats. So I have a bot running on Twitter, posting messages directly from Superalgos by the API. And I think I walked through how to set this up before. I did just make some updates to it. Twitter just released for full support for their brand new version 2 API. I updated the module in Superalgos that is using the API, so it's now fully API v2 compliant. And you can set up, emojis and hashtags, and you can give statistics about your system and different information about what's going on. But anyway, somebody was asking what I'm actually running, how I'm actually creating these trades, what system I'm using. And I created a extremely simple trading system because I have a couple of Odroid, hard kernel Odroid C2, older, kind of like a Raspberry Pi 3, single board compute. Is that nodes that aren't very powerful, don't have a lot of memory, but they're still useful. but they get overloaded very quickly. So I wanted to create a very simple trading system for them. I have to be very careful here because I'm going onto a live node and I really don't want you all to see what I have running. Not that I don't want you to see what I have running. I don't want you to see any of my keys and things. So, oh geez, I'm not even showing you. My bad. Forgot to change my window back. So anyway, I was showing you that on my Twitter BT crypto stats. So screwed that up. That's what the beer does, everybody. Don't do it. Stay straight edge. I have, you can see you can set up hashtags. You do these cool new dollar tags, cash tags, I think is what they call them. You can see I'm posting messages directly from Superalgos. And you can see there's some other people posting messages using the Superalgos hashtag. Algo trading is pretty popular. Lots of interesting information here. But anyway, this is my bot. It's all coming from Superalgos. So this is my C2 cluster, hard kernel C2 cluster. One of the nodes keeps throwing errors for some reason. So I have 4 of them, only 3 of them are active. 2 of them are trading on Coinbase. One of them is trading on Kraken. But the trading system is what we are here to look at. So I came up with the awesome name of Ride the Wave because this is all based off of EMAs. And if you just do a quick search for EMA Crossover, what was I doing? I think I was looking at Investopedia. That's pretty much where I've been going. They only have, here we go, crossovers. Well, this is talking about the handles actually crossing over. But what we were looking for are where the different time period EMAs cross each other. And I believe one of them that I saw is that a typical is people go out to 4-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour, 24-hour periods, and then use the 50 EMA, the 50 period EMA, to cross over the 200 EMA. And let's look at let's see if I can actually get this to load. This is going to look a little bit wonky. But you can see the yellow one at the bottom here is the 200. These are all under the popular EMAs. Get this little window to pop up here. We have on the popular EMAs, EMA 20, 50, 100, and 200. So this top one here is the 20, and then this lighter blue one is the 50. This kind of purpley one, which you can't really tell, but That's the 100. This is the 200 at the bottom. So a typical strategy is you want the 50 to cross up. So like down here, you have a 50 going up above the 200. So that is one indicator that you might want to enter your position. And then when the 50 over here goes below the 200, you may want to exit your position, because those are signs that the market is changing. But as you can see, we're looking at a 1 minute timeline here, time period. 1 minute is very volatile. And so when you get to your 50 crossing over your 200, the actual candle may be way down below. So it's definitely not perfect. If you look over some of my recent trades, I'm down 35%, down 40%. So you may definitely want to come up with something better. But this is very simple. It works very well on this very slow hardware, because I am only calculating candles and volumes. And then I'm only calculating the EMAs for each market. And with that, I'm actually successfully running 2 markets at a time on one server, one board. I'm running 3 up here on this board with Kraken, and it does seem to be working fine. I haven't had any of the processes just stop randomly. And CPU does cycle, so it's not running at 100% all the time. And the memory doesn't seem to always run out. Different indicators use different amounts of memory and CPU to compute them. So your mileage may vary depending on which indicators you're using. But yeah, if you are running into conditions where you're running these data mining operations and you come back the next day and all of a sudden you notice that, hey, my EMA isn't calculating anymore, it's not running, what the hell? You're probably running too much on that computer or that node, and you may want to start backing off. So it took me a long time to figure out what each of these nodes could actually handle. And this was kind of the best in terms of allowing me to trade a bunch of different markets, and also kind of packing in the most into each node that I could. So now that you know the history of why I decided to spend so much time on this, let's get into it. So I originally started with the Lightning Strike trading system that is a part of the Getting Started Guide workspace. And I think I've walked through this several times, or at least done part of this several times, just illustrating how you can make changes to the trading system and then back test them and kind of figure out where you're going, what works, what doesn't, and what happens when you make different changes. But what I have come up with is I found that running at the 15-minute with my back tests was kind of the best way to kind of drive this, where I'm not getting all the volatility at the 1 minute, but it's not lagging so far behind that I miss quick wins. And I kind of cheated a little bit, where instead of using the 50 going above the 200, I had the 20. And this is just my trigger on event. So when my 20 goes above the 200 at the 15-minute time interval, that's when I kind of want to say like, oh, hey, I may want to start looking to take a position. Excuse me. And then I also have that the EMA 20 is sloping up. So my EMA 20 is higher, greater than the previous EMA 20. So obviously I want the trend to be moving up, moving forward. But what I also found is I want to make sure that the larger market, the greater trend, is also moving up. So I did throw in a 4-hour check for the 50 to be above the 200, the EMA 200. I found that otherwise, there were many times when during backtesting, if I was just focusing on the 15-minute, I'd start making trades like in May when the market just was on a huge bear market, downward spiral. You would have little peaks and valleys, things were going up and down, but generally everything was going down. So the trading system would trigger on, noticing that one of these little spikes would go up, but it wouldn't stay up very long. And so I would place a limit order and it would miss. And I would just constantly be either selling at my stop loss, or I would try to keep it open and it would just never hit. And so it may stay open for 3 or 4 months and maybe it would hit or not. But I would miss a lot of trading opportunities if I didn't close it out and, take my stop loss. So this was put in to say like, look, okay, at least if my 4-hour is up, then I know that it may be a better opportunity for the market to actually continue to go up. My trigger off event is if the 15-minute time frame EMA 20 goes below the EMA 200. So if what happens is if this take position event does not trigger before the EMA 20 goes back down below the 200, then it turns off and waits for it to trigger back on again. So my take position, let's get this back in here. At the 15-minute, I want the 50 to now be above the 200. So I triggered on and said, hey, start looking for this trend to develop when the 20 goes above the 200. And then take my position when the 50 goes above the 200. And then check these other things. Make sure that the 20 is also above the 50. Make sure that the 20 at the 15-minute is above the previous 20. So again, still trending up. Here's some things in parentheses to make sure that doing a little bit of math. I want I think this is a slope calculation. Okay, yeah. So the difference between the current and the previous EMA 20 is greater than the difference between the previous and the 2 times previous EMA 20. So again, kind of like an acceleration, making sure that it's really going up. And I did it again. Making sure that the previous 20 and the previous 2 times previous is greater than the 2 times previous minus the 3 times previous. So again, just checking kind of velocity or acceleration of these trends. So once all that hits, I take my position and I open my limit buy. What I aim for is my 1 minute candle close. And basically just place it right away. And I cancel it if it doesn't hit in one period. So if I'm running this at the 15 minute, it will wait 15 minutes and then close. If I'm running it at the 1 minute, it'll wait 1 minute and close and try again. And that's pretty much, I think that was pretty much verbatim from the lightning strike. And then I have my announcements in here. And I have some user-defined code to set up a couple of values. And these values are basically just for, the order rate may not be, but I think most of these are for the announcements that I'm making. Because there's a couple of different race conditions, at least in terms of the announcements. Whether you can use, if we go and look at the trading engine, you'll see we have trading current and trading last. And sometimes there's a lag in between, like I place an order, it's sold, the stage is closing, but it may still be keeping the value in trading current as opposed to in trading last. And there's just a couple of other wonky things that I noticed along the way in terms of creating these announcements. I've kind of talked about some of these, but you can see I have this on exit true. So when the stage is exiting is when I want to make the announcement that I basically place this order and here's what the stats were for that order. And in one of my other videos where I was talking about the Twitter bot, I walked through kind of how I set this up and how you can use Unicode characters and things like that. So, manage stage. Let's say I place my order, it's sold, or my buy happened. This is where you set up your stop loss and your take profit. For me, I wanted to be able to place my buy order immediately, essentially. So these stop loss and take profit basically just trigger right away. But I set my stop loss value at 93% of the, I think that's the actual purchase value. The value, this is one of my user-defined variables. Excuse me. And then I said if my, the first user-defined variable. So let's go back and look at these. So the first one, I'm keeping a Boolean value of either buy or sell. So was that a buy order that was just placed or a sell order that was just placed? So here I set that value to 0. And then I have my order rate set to my user-defined variable 1. And the size filled, I think the size filled is only used in the announcements. But my order rate is what this is. So this is order rate times 93%. So about 7% down. And if the last order was a buy, then set my manage stop loss to this stop loss value variable. Otherwise it's 0. And then for my take profit, get this up here. Similar, I set my take profit actual rate to 1% above my purchase value. And my entry target rate is candle at 1 minute, candle close times 10%. So if it was a buy, then I'll use my take profit actual rate. Otherwise, I basically sit here and wait until a buy happened to set the proper take profit value. So for me on this strategy, the managed stage is basically configured to immediately just pass through. So I want to place my buy, have it happen, and then immediately place a limit sell order. And I think this is kind of interesting. I think you can see from my recent tweets that it doesn't really work, or it, at least in these market conditions, it hasn't been working. But I have 2 sell orders, and this sell order 2 is essentially my main sell order, like what I want to actually get out of profit. And then the sell order 1 is more or less my stop loss, like basically just like cash out, get out of here quick sell. And that really only gets triggered after this cancel order event happens. So my order rate that I basically want to place immediately is I essentially take the slope of the 4-hour EMA 200, turn it into a percentage. This code block here says I basically want 2%, a 2% profit as the absolute minimum. So if this slope happens to be less than 2%, just set it to 2%. 1.02, so 2% up. Otherwise, set it to whatever, 10%, 20%, whatever the slope of the EMA 200 is. And I set my order rate to be the candle close times the slope. So at least 2%, and, from there, sky's the limit. I place my order essentially right away, and then I cancel that order and move on to my quick sell, essentially stop loss, if the 15-minute 20 goes below the 100, the 30-minute 20 goes below the 50, and the 4-hour 50 also goes below the 200. So a couple of checks to see if the market has really taken a turn. And if it has, then I essentially open this up. I set my order rate to be 99% of the candle close at 1 minute. The reason why I said 99% is to make sure that the trend is actually still down, and to make sure that it closes quickly without it actually being a market sale. Because during the testing, I found that if I set it to the actual candle close, the next tick on the chart may not actually hit that, but if I set it to 99%, most of the time it will actually hit that immediately and get out of the position. And then this is just saying only create this order if the last order was limit sell order 2. And again, that logic was kind of taken from almost directly from the lightning strike system that's included in the main getting started tutorial. So that's basically it. And then I have my user-defined code and my announcement set up here to set some variables and to send that information out to Twitter. So there you go. It's pretty simple. I did have a much more complicated system running, and what I found is that I ended up spending way too much time tweaking it. I had like 2 different situations here on the take position, 2 different situations on the trigger on event, 15 different conditions on each of those, trying to just kind of like whittle down and like really pinpoint specific things to happen. And I spent too much time tweaking it, and then I would run it live and I'd be like, wait, the market's up. Why am I not actually placing my buy order? And I'd find that there was like, 1 out of the 15 or 20 conditions that didn't get met with this specific market. And just started getting really frustrated. So I tried to just make something a lot more simple. And this kind of just works for me. I understand it a lot better. When I get more time to read up on some other strategies, I may come back and tweak this more, or add in some more things like RSI, I don't know, MACD, whatever. But for now, this works. I understand it. I know why my sales are happening, why my buys are happening. Excuse me. And I can run it on my hardware. It's not too stressful. Excuse me. So yeah. I think that's it for me for the night. I don't have anything else to talk about. I hope you all got your profiles in. If not, get them in before the 1st of January, because that's when distribution's going to be again. We're trying to make it much more on a regular schedule so everybody knows when it's happening and what's happening. This month got a little messed up because somebody found a bug in the system and kind of was trying to use it for their own benefit and trying to hide it and not bring it to the attention of the developers so that we could fix it before other people found it. So anyway, we decided the project decided to extend the voting period and the claims period, because they wanted everybody to understand what went on, why bug fix was pushed at the last minute. And yeah, basically voting and placing claims is all done at this point, and distribution should happen tomorrow. Yeah, I guess that's all I have. So yeah, check out Superalgos on GitHub, superalgos.org. I highlighted some of the blog posts up here on Medium. You can follow Superalgos on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter, splat_algo. My Twitter bot is BT Crypto Stats. You can find me in the Discord channels. You can find me in Telegram. Go in there, ask all the kind people for all the assistance that you need. Everybody is super willing to help out. And what else? Follow me on Twitch here. Follow me on YouTube. I'll get this video posted up tomorrow so everybody can reference it and come back to it. And yeah, join us on Reddit too. Trying to get the Reddit subreddit going. Keeps growing little by little. I try to keep all the news and everything posted up there so it everybody can be informed with what's going on. And yeah, if you want to contribute, you're more than welcome to. PR is always welcome, and we would love to have them. If you have any ideas, shoot me a message for questions that you have or what you might like me to go over in another video. I'll try and do it. And yeah, I guess that's it. Cheers. Until next week. Same time, same place. Get you on the flippy floppy.